Amid the ongoing war between Hamas and Israel, Israel has launched more than 6,000 rockets at Gaza. The death toll has surged above 3,000, and now hundreds of protesters are demonstrating at Capitol Hill in the United States of America and have occupied a part of the House building, urging the US administration to push for a ceasefire in Gaza. Dressed in black shirts emblazoned with the words Jews say ceasefire now, the activists were clapping and singing on the floor. There are of course visuals of that on air. You can see it right now on your screens, viewers. Meanwhile, people are protesting worldwide against the deaths of Palestinians in this war. Meanwhile, joining us live on the broadcast is my colleague Akshit Gupta. Akshit, over to you. What more details can you give our viewers?
Well, yes, as the war between Israel and Hamas intensifies, and of course after that deadly hospital blast also in Gaza, there are protests taking place in different nations by different groups, and of course prominently by Arabs also, and in the Middle East, condemning the attack on the hospital in Gaza. And now at the Capitol Hill also, public access to the Capitol Hill has been now restricted after a sizable number of protesters actually gathered around the hill and started protesting and started chanting ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, because the situation of the war has now been escalating only. And Hill staffer also said that as the demonstrations unfolded, people were chanting ceasefire, ceasefire, and they are also being advised to actually not use the tunnels and not the main entrance and exit doors also, because the protesters are continuously protesting over there, and several barriers of bike rack fencing were also erected so that for the safety measures and for the precautionary measures. But scores of demonstrators inside the building chanted ceasefire now, and they were arrested by the Capitol Police throughout the day. Well, the Capitol Police also announced that they were closing down roads around the hill to actually ensure the safety of the protesters outside also. And perhaps they said that they have warned the protesters that it is actually not allowed to protest inside the congressional buildings. Of course, the police throughout the day arrested them, and they were continuously chanting ceasefire. But as we know that US President Joe Biden also visited Israel yesterday, and of course showed his support and said that the US stands in solidarity with Israel, and he has also perhaps announced $100 billion package also. I beg your pardon, $100 million package also for the people in Gaza who have been affected. So of course it remains to be seen how the peace is established between Israel and Hamas.
All right, Akshit, stay on with us, because also joining us this morning to present perspectives is Colonel J.S. Sodhi, international affairs expert. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX. Protesters have stormed the Capitol Hill in the United States of America. They are, of course, protesting against the deaths of Palestinians, particularly in the hospital that was bombed. What do you make of these developments?
Jahan Pia, it's my honor to be on a news channel. The fact that protests are taking place in the Capitol Hill in the United States and in many Western European countries too, apart from the Islamic nations, clearly shows that every global citizen wants this war to end. Israel has taken more than enough of revenge. Nearly 4,000 Palestinians have been killed ever since the war started on 7th of October. The entire fault is of Hamas, who started the brutal attack with the early morning attack on 7th October. But Israel too has retaliated and has taken enough revenge. I think it is time that this war should stop. And this has been clearly indicated by President Joe Biden in his trip to Israel, where he said that Israel should not commit the same mistakes which America did post 9/11. The fact is that in any war, finally it is the common citizens and the soldiers who die. And this is evident in this war too. Just day before yesterday night at 10:30, 500 Palestinians have been killed in an attack on an hospital. Whosoever this missile came from, whether from the Israeli Defense Forces or from the Islamic Jihad, the fact remains that common citizens have died. It is high time that the suffering that the humanity is seeing, which is increasing day by day with a prolonged Russia-Ukraine war and now this Israel-Palestine war, this war should end, and only 3 countries can help end this war: USA, Russia and China.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.